Hi everyone. Today the chapter we're going to discuss is Bill of Exchange. Bill of Exchange comes under Section 5 of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Let us see the definition of Bill of Exchange. As per Section 5 of the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881, Bill of Exchange is an instrument. Instrument means a document or a check or a receipt kind of thing in writing containing an unconditional order signed by the maker directing a certain person to pay a certain sum of money only to or to the order of a certain person or to the bearer of the instrument. This simply means one person makes an order to another person to pay a certain sum of money to some other person. So the some other person has to pay the money to whom it is ordered to pay. Now there are three parties to the bill of exchange. Let us see who are those. The first one is the drawer. The second one is the drawee. The third one is the payee. The person who gives the order to pay or who makes the bill is called a drawer. For example, if I am writing a check, I am the drawer. The person who is directed to pay is called the drawee. Now I am directing a bank to pay an amount to a certain person. So the bank will be the drawee. Now the person to whom the payment is to be made is called the payee. In case if I am writing a check on behalf of A, now the A will be getting the money from the bank. Now the A will be the payee. Now we'll take an example of bill of exchange. Then there's a company called Sidhu. It purchases spare parts for credit from a supplier called Soma for rupees 50,000 rupees. Now this 50,000 rupees has to be paid back in 30 days. Now the Soma buys raw materials on credit from a company called Ashok with same terms and conditions. That means Soma also buys for a credit of 50,000 which has to be repaid in 30 days. Now, Soma may order Sidhu to pay the amount to Ashok. This order is known as Bill of Exchange. What are the essentials of Bill of Exchange? A bill of exchange must be in writing. It should always be in writing. There cannot be oral communication. It must be dated and stamped. The bill of exchange should have a date and it has to be stamped too. It must be signed by the drawer. The person who is issuing the bill of exchange has to sign the document, and he is known as the drawer. The name of the drawer must be clearly mentioned. Sometimes when we make signatures or when we sign, the name will not be clearly visible. So you have to print the name correctly so that your name is clearly visible. The order must be an unconditional one. So as soon as you issue the bill of exchange, the person should be able to get the money. There should not be any condition for this. It must contain an order to pay money and not goods. The bill of exchange is always issued to get the money, not to take any goods. The sum payable must be specified. Now the bill of exchange must contain the exact amount of money that has to be paid. The money must be payable to a definite person or to his order or to the bearer. Now, the bill of exchange must say that this amount has to be paid to Mr. So and so, or the person to whom the bill of exchange is issued, that guy can give it to some other person so that he can bring the money. This is known as the bearer or to his order. Bearer means the person who is holding the bill of exchange. As soon as he issues the bill of exchange, the person, the bank, or any other person will pay him the money. That is what you call as money must be payable to the bearer. The amount should be paid within a stipulated time. So the bill of exchange will contain the amount has to be paid within 30 days or within 3 months or within 4 months. So this amount has to be paid within that time period. It must have adequate stamp duty at the prescribed rate. If there is a stamp duty which has to be paid, it has to be paid. What are the advantages of bill of exchange? It's a valid evidence of debt. It's a full proof of indebtedness. It means to say a person is indebted to me, that is, a person has to pay certain amount to me. Even if that person is not able to pay, this bill of exchange will serve as an evidence in a court of law. Since the date of payment is fixed, debtor knows when he has to pay and the creditor knows when to expect his money. Since the date is fixed, maybe after 3 months I am going to pay back the money, the creditor will arrange the money within that time. At the same time, the debtor also will arrange the money to pay to the creditor. The creditor can allow credit and at the same time capital is not locked up. In case if I am arranging all like buying raw materials, paying everyone from out of my pocket, now this money is locked up until the goods are sold and I get the profit from that. In case there is this bill of exchange, I can buy the raw materials on credit and after selling the products I can pay back the money. In this scenario my money is not locked up. At the same time, the producer of the raw material also gets back his money on time. Since it's a negotiable instrument, it can easily be transferred in settlement of debts. That is, it can be given from one person to another person to take the money. I will give an example for this. It's easy and convenient for remitting money from one place to another place. This bill of exchange came in 1881. That time we did not have much of internet facilities, so they have this mentioned as an advantage. Nowadays we can transact money and if from one place to another person through internet banking. It's not an issue. Free transfer facility of bills enhances commercial transaction. Since the bills can be transacted from one person to another, it can be transferred from one person to another. So whenever there is a need of money, it can be transferred and money can be bought for a nominal charges. If the drawer is in need of money, the bill can be converted into cash by discounting it with the bank at a very nominal expense. In case I am the drawer of the bill, I have issued bill of exchange for 5 lakh rupees and it has to be repaid in 3 months. Now within 1 month I am in need of money. I cannot go and ask the acceptor to pay immediately. So in such a scenario, I can issue this bill of exchange to a bank. The bank will pay me the money after charging a nominal amount, and after 3 months, the bank will collect the money from the acceptor. Bills in sets. When the drawer and payee of bill are located in different places, there are chances of losing the bills in the transition. To avoid this inconvenience, bills are drawn in sets. For that, people who have seen our post offices will understand how long it takes for a mail to receive from one place to another place. These things usually were happening when there is international transactions. When there are international transactions, some of the bills were lost in transit. To avoid this, to ensure that at least one of the bills is sent to the acceptor, the drawer will issue multiple bills or at least two or three bills so that at least one bill reaches the acceptor or the drawing. This ensures that at least one part is transmitted safely to the drawer. Each part is numbered. In case if I am issuing three letter of bill of exchange, then I will number it 1, 2, and 3. In case if I have to receive 10 lakh rupees, I will have three copies, and out of these three copies, only one copy will be valid. The one copy which reaches the drawer. All the parts are signed by the drawer. The drawer has to sign all the parts of the bills of exchange. The part accepted is a bill in itself and other parts become invalid. Even in case all the three bill reaches the drawer, all the three parts reaches the drawer, only one of that will be valid. Once he encashes that amount, then the other two bills will become invalid. We cannot have multiple amount. Now here we see a sample of bill of exchange. In this you can see the amount being mentioned very clearly, the date on which it was drawn, and it also says 2 months after date pay to me or my order the sum of within how many days the amount has to be paid. Here the stamp is mentioned. Here the acceptor has to sign. Only after the acceptor signs it, it becomes a valid bill of exchange. This here the drawer has to sign the bill of exchange. And here we come to the end of the session.